TaysGreenLife with VOWS. VOWS from Scotland. Hey guys, how's it going?
Yeah,
Good.
How's it going? So how long has VOWS been a band and how long has everybody been together?
So pre-pandemic, how long pre-pandemic?
It's like a year before the pandemic.
Yeah, so geez, probably about 3 years from initial founding now.
And like a year active, just about.
Yeah, coming up to a year where we've actually been actively playing shows and spreading the videos and the music and the album. So not very long in the terms of actually showing people the band, but yeah, it's been a long time.
These two were actually original members, like Josh and Cam. It was actually just me, Andrew, and our guitar player Ross, who's out getting drunk like every other Scottish person. So it started like just as a bit of fun in like my flat, and now here we are.
That's great. So how did you guys get your first show?
That was me, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
When we were promoting the band, I didn't really tell the guys much about it, but because we were locked in the pandemic, I took the chance to start our promotion a bit early, send some people some songs and stuff like that, and be like, dude, when this drops, it's going to be cool. I sent it to a promoter and he was like, do you want your first show with us? Is this too soon? And we were like, you know what? We've kind of put off playing shows for too long now. We should kind of set ourselves a goal and play it. And it was one of my favorite shows, actually. That was good fun.
Yeah, no, it was a good show. It was the perfect mix of like preparation and
timing.
And timing.
Yeah.
It wasn't even a local show either. It was like 2 hours away, 2.5 hours away in a different town. So that was quite cool as well. So yeah.
And then our first local show here was like straight after. It was mental.
Yeah.
That was a headline as well.
What's a favorite song you guys like to play live?
I know straight end. So, I really like playing Ice. No. I like Lifelines.
Yeah. Okay.
What's his favorite? Genocide.
Oh my gosh. For me, it's suffocating if I can get through the intro in one piece. I play the drums, so it's like as long as the intro goes well, like it's super fun. But yeah.
So does one person write the music, or does everyone like contribute with all the different instruments and the writing of the music and all that?
I'll let Dean answer this one.
There's like a different team of people that all do different things for VOWS. I contribute some really bad guitar ideas. Cam and Ross do a lot of writing. Josh handles anything drums because Josh is like the greatest drummer I've ever seen.
I gotta give credit to our producer as well, Kieran Smith. Though he's absolutely amazing. Gets the best out of everyone for sure. Like we wouldn't be the band that we are without his input. He's so amazing, and he's we really owe him a lot, I think, as well. So big shout out to Kieran Smith there from To Kill Achilles. Actually, he's the drummer of that band too. So yeah, fantastic.
I see your producer is like an extension of your band, like the member that's not really in your band, and Kieran just kills it for us. Lyrically, I mainly do that because I'm a big book of stories. But our initial writing process is we kind of write ourselves, then we go to our producer. We spend months sitting with him, going through the planning of the record, the initial thoughts, and then we put it in motion. And the songs usually all completely change when you go to the studio. So
definitely.
I usually, and the guys really hate this, my writing process is to do it all the night before. I like to feel the music.
What's the panic of it?
What? It's like art. I just need to see the full canvas, and when the full canvas is there, like 90% complete, it's easier to like paint the last minor details.
Yeah. Well, Dean, you kind of wait though, because like after we do, the pre-pro, once we've like recorded, the the guitar that's kind of been almost redone from the demos, because it's, we've kind of found our sound for that song at that point. That's kind of when, only then can you sort of apply your lyrics to it, because it's a completely different song. So you have to obviously map it to that then. But yeah, no, for us, obviously, because of the pandemic, we only had kind of like 2 people at a time in the studio. We actually recorded the album during the pandemic. 2 of the songs were already recorded, like before I was in the band. And that was Genocide and Trophy Eyes. And, we kind of had a vibe of where the band was going from that. But yeah, me and Ross went down first, and we dealt with a lot of the pre-pro of that album, What Makes Us Whole, and it ended up, we kind of had like ideas for songs, and like Dean was saying, we had a lot of demos, guitar ideas, that sort of thing, but they kind of came to life through our influences as well. Like myself, I was, it was COVID, everyone had some rough patches, like me, Dean, like especially during that album writing process. So that really, really like came to like Suffocating is like a really good example of that, because we, like I sat down, for example, and I had a really terrible day that day. And I just kind of remember having this, vivid idea of, because originally the intro of the song wasn't there. And I kind of wanted this kind of like welling up, this kind of build up of, intense emotion of some kind. And then to have, a break of just, something just incredibly intense that just clouds your mind. And that's basically kind of, in relationship to, how I was feeling, was just, I just had a lot of like, negative, horrible emotions that were just filling my day. So it kind of, that's kind of the direction I wanted to go with that song. And that's kind of how Suffocating really came to life through that. Ross can obviously tell you a bit about, his guitar writing process for that, but, I can't speak on his behalf.
Yeah. The pandemic was a good time for you guys. The pandemic here was, we all were locked in too, but we were able to leave and like do stuff. And like, so like, how's the pandemic for you guys?
The government seemed to have like quite a lot of grasp on it for us. It was more you were kind of controlled by fear in a sense. They were trying to scare you into not leaving your house, working from home, wearing a mask everywhere.
I was front line, I was technically classed as front line for the whole work I did for it, and it sucked.
Yeah, I worked. I was because I work for a pharmacy, so like I was there like every day at work and wearing a mask, and like nobody was coming in, and it was scary. But like I feel like the pandemic actually helped out a lot of people, and it also like brought a lot of sadness to people too. You weren't allowed to leave, and you weren't allowed to see your friends, and I think that really contributed to a lot of things that are popping up now. Like you said, the music, you were digging down deep into your feelings and trying to write with your feelings. So were you like, you were sad and, and stuck in a room and couldn't do anything?
Yeah.
It was actually, I'd say the pandemic was the best thing that happened to this band, because we had some songs written, and then Josh joined, and he was like, we basically... When we took Josh on, he was like, I want to do an album. And we kind of spoke about it. And we were kind of like, at this time, we didn't have a page. We didn't have a presence online. Why don't we just take as long as we can to make the best record, get everything together, and then launch when gigs come back? Yeah. And it worked an absolute treat.
So you guys don't do your own recording and production. You have someone doing it. What was his name again?
Kieran Smith.
Okay. So how does working as a team, like, how do you guys like work? Who does what? And, how does it come together?
So I'll just put it out there right now, like Cam and Ross are the guys that kind of, promote the band on social media. They really push everything big time. Like they push the promotion, push the merch, like get all of that stuff done, all the groundwork that is done. That's usually those two boys that do that. So big ups to Cam. Is like, he's put in so much hard work into the band since he's joined. So yeah, couldn't really do it without him at this point. So
it's one thing, like when it comes to like the content and stuff, you kind of have to break down the team. So me and Ross usually handle the social media posts, and we split it between ourselves, and then that'll get passed around the guys. And then same with what we're writing now.
Yeah.
Since I wasn't in the band when we wrote the album, but we're planning on releasing new music soon, and having quite a big role between Ross and myself to get the main riffs out and anything like that. It's the kind of starting point, and that gets fed through the rest of the guys. Josh to bring up his drum ideas. Andrew for inputs,
sitting looking pretty.
and then across to Dean, and then we kind of just break it down into our own individual parts, and then bring it together, and then bring that to our producer. So it is just a team game. It's just one person initiates something, whether it's Stephen, Josh, or Andrew or Ross. They all contribute. I think my pizza just arrived.
So how do you guys feel about TikTok and platforms for networking and stuff like that?
I really, 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 really hate TikTok, but it is one of the greatest tools you can use to promote your business or your band. But I really hate it. The whole premise is weird to me. There's people using my music to get views.
It's weird though. It's one of those platforms where it's odd. It's odd. It's such a good platform to grow on, but the way I see it, for a band, you can't spread like an entire song or an entire album through that, which is kind of what we want to achieve. And I guess that's why we haven't tried it yet. Hey, thank you.
The thing is, though, like those sort of platforms, like it's all about where everyone's eyes are, and a lot of bands these days think, the music will carry you, and that is true to some extent. But when I think of PR, I always think of like every band in the world together, all dressed in black, and the one you're going to notice is the group that are dressed in white.
Yes. It matters who has it sucks, but like the ones who have the most like views and the likes and all that. But it doesn't matter if you are only good on the social media. Then if you're not good in real life, then that doesn't matter, Yeah. And it really matters like how you spread out the social media and the networking.
I would rather 30 people came to see us play and heard the best music they've heard that week, that month, that year, than 1,000 people paying £20 a ticket, £25 a ticket to go and see something that's then substandard,
And that's good. I'm all about the money, bro.
So I heard when we actually we had a phone call. I talked to.
Hi.
Yeah. Sorry, forgot your name already. That's sucky of me. I'm sorry. But we had a great phone call, and we were talking about like the different ways to, promote, and how like what was it? You don't put the links in the post. Put the links in the comments.
Because Facebook chokes out everything that doesn't tell anyone this. So they keep paying for the advertisement, and it's so diluted.
Yeah, and you were saying what was like 70 to 80% people won't see it because it has the link in it, and then if you put the link in the comments, then Facebook doesn't like cut that out.
It doesn't recognize that there's a link that is in Facebook. Yes. So whatever you post in the comments section isn't picked up by the bot or the algorithm. But as soon as you put like a link and it doesn't say facebook.com in it, you can just say bye-bye to your reach. But it makes sense in marketing anyway, because you don't expect to get a billboard for like $50,
Facebook will only want to see things that are related to Meta.
Yeah, like only things that matter by them. Like they're very biased. Like I don't see a lot of things with like the UK. I only see America stuff. And like it's different because everyone is, we're all in this big planet, but we're all separate like entities, separate areas. And like I was talking about American politics, and then he was like talking like how, the rights have been taken away from us. And I was like, yeah, that's the thing that's happening over here. And like you guys have affordable health care. We do not. And I literally pay like $300 a month for my health care. Like, no, not even $300 a month. $300 every week, every 2 weeks is how much I pay for my health care. Yeah. And then we were just talking shit about America. And I'm like, it's a great place. Don't get me wrong. But there are some things we need to, work on. And it's great hearing like the opinion from other countries. What was it? I saw some of your posts about like, I guess house shows is... You guys perform at houses or venues? Or?
Oh no, it's this.
Captain Tom's.
Captain Tom's.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah, so Captain Tom's is a rehearsal space. It's just local. It's just around the corner from my flat.
Shout out your boys.
They're small rooms, like the size of your average living room.
Bedroom.
Depending on how big your house.
Yeah, no, living room. Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know, 20 feet by 15 feet wide rooms.
Yeah.
So they're really small. And 30 people in that is rammed. It's absolutely packed. So we usually rehearse there. So there's only 5 people in a room. And we put on a show there a couple of weeks ago. And
It was so good.
there was 40 people there, but it felt like there was about 100 in that room. It was so sweaty.
Yeah.
Everyone was loving it. It was good fun.
That sounds so cool. So you guys were supposed to do, I guess, a tattoo show.
Yeah.
I guess it was canceled.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the tattoo convention was meant to be at one of the bigger venues in Aberdeen, the city that we live in. And I think the capacity on it was maybe 2,000 people.
Oh.
Right, I'm saying that?
Yeah, it's definitely like, it's a big convention room. So
It's 800 capacity. I spoke to the promoter about it.
So our usual show would be at a 150 capacity room, whereas so 800 people would have been good to play to.
Oh man.
But yeah, that got cancelled last minute. So
There's a lot of stuff you can read up online about that.
Oh no, something like that happened out here. There's a state called Kentucky. And yeah, there's Kentucky. I don't remember the name of the festival, but I guess one of their members was like forcing themselves on women. So instead of the band kicking the guy out, one of the members left and they were like, we're still going to play. We're still going to go on tour. And like everyone is like canceling last minute for this festival. Everyone's like, fuck that band. Goodbye. We're done. And there was like no bands there. So they canceled the festival. Jeez. And it was so bad. It was such bad planning. And like, I don't know the full story, but like, I still see like post of it and I'm like, oh my God, you guys, come on. Like, let's be professional. There was a couple members in Richmond that were going to go, but they all dropped out because they were like, no, we're not doing this.
yeah,
And it's stuff like that's really bad because like, how do you know who's joining your band? Like, are you supposed to just like look at their, look at their name and see what bad stuff comes up? Like, it's very hard to determine who's good and who's bad, And it sucks because the whole band could get canceled just because of one person.
yeah. It's always the minority that ruins it for the majority, is it?
yeah,
Yes.
definitely.
Yeah, not the case it was in the tattoo convention that we were meant to play. It's so many bands lined up, and they're all really good bands, really good vocals. Bands from other countries as well, and someone not having the confidence to run the show, and then that ends up they get a lot of bad stuff spreading about them. It just ruins it for everyone. And,
Yes.
it's a sore one, but we came out on top, I think, with running our own little show.
I woke up to like 5 million messages and I'm like, yo, I'm not even running this show, bro.
Oh my God. I guess another one, was it Bloodstock Metal 2? The Masses?
Oh no. That was painful. That was very painful.
Yeah, so what is this, the Metal to the Mass?
Yeah.
That's the one gig where everything went wrong. Everything that could have gone wrong went wrong.
I don't know about you guys, but I had an awesome show.
Josh, our drummer, he had COVID at the time, and we were stupid enough to be like, okay, we've got this. We run to a backing track every gig anyway. We can we can run the drum track, and we got to the show and quick line check. Everything was sounding good. Started playing, and everyone was like, "Oh God, I can't hear the drums."
You know, one point during that set, I typically felt time stop at one of the parts, and I was like, "Where am I?"
Breakdown.
So there's some questions I've skipped over a little bit, but we're gonna go into it because we still got some time. What was the overall message from the album? What makes us whole?
Take it away, Dean.
Take it, yeah, it's your lyrics, man.
When I wrote the album, I was going through like some of the hardest parts of my life, like loads of like questions like, am I still going to be here tomorrow? Am I going to achieve my dreams? Will I ever have a family? So the whole album is about me essentially losing like all grips of reality, being in this like little world of my own, feeling like the whole world's against me, but trying to tell myself that the world isn't against me. And at the end of the record, like the whole story for me is like traveling through my mind, my mental health to try and find clarity and stability in my life, which I'm still struggling with.
I think the main message of that album was really that
love yourself through your mental health.
Yes.
You can get through it, even though things get really hard. You can come to your senses and actually see through the veil of it all and actually see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, and that's what like I wrote it for. When I started, I've just noticed you're bored, and that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen, man.
Yeah, it's a weird whiteboard, yeah.
When I started like making music, I started playing and writing because I didn't want anyone to feel as alone as me. And I kind of used music, just like singing on live and stuff, as a way to like connect to people. So I've always kind of stood by like the message that I write, which is when I write a song, I could be writing about an ex-lover, but I could actually be writing about my mum. If I write about a friend, I could be writing about, let's see, it'll all make sense. I could, if I'm writing about a friend that's hurt me, I could actually be writing about a lover. And the reason I make my music so ominous is I like people to take the initial point of the song, but then adapt it to their life and maybe find some clarity in that.
Yeah, you kind of seek your own situation.
So
those lyrics. It can be compatible with anyone.
So if I'm writing about you, I could actually be writing about Andrew, for instance, and vice versa. It's like,
that's really confusing.
It's really weird. The main antagonist of my story is always anonymous, so that people can add their own antagonist and make me the protagonist.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, it's really hard to word like my feeling behind like songwriting, but I like songs where you feel like you're the main character. And even then, like Foo Fighters and stuff like that, I would sit there and I'd be like, there goes my hero. And when I felt I'd be like, yeah, I could save a bunch of orphans from a building on fire, you know? Like, I think music
We just not learning to build it.
it has the power to immerse you and change your mood.
That's how, like, I feel it's very important, you know, the message your music makes. Like, there's a band that's my favorite right now, Movements. I don't know if you guys have heard of them. Yeah, they're coming out, and I'm actually going to see them Wednesday. And like that music is just so feeling, and just you just want to like feel it. And I think that's important to put in your music because everyone feels hurt. Everyone has, you know, mental health problems, and everyone, you don't know why they have mental health problems, but you know that they do, and you want to be there and give them that positivity. And that's great. That you try to put that in your music, the feeling and the relatableness. And that's what people like, you know, and the fact that you guys are also on, you know, podcasts, you seem personable and like you're letting America, you know, see you guys. It's crazy how I was able to find you on social media. It's great. No, Dean actually just randomly messaged me. just was like, hey, how's it going? And I was like, hey, I have a podcast if you want to join. And that was how our friendship started. Like, it's so crazy because, like, I listened to the music and I was like, oh, I like them. Let me talk to them. And then he's like, oh, I'm in Scotland. And I was like, okay, yeah, get on my podcast, please. Like, let me hear you. It's great that we're trying to build a community here. And I appreciate you guys being here and giving me your time. You know, I guess it's like 10, 9 for you guys?
Yeah.
It's like 4 p.m. right now.
Yeah, 9:45. Yeah.
So thank you guys. I appreciate it. We are running close to the end time. Was there anything you wanted to go over really quickly before we end the call? Anything you want to?
Yes. Tenants, if you ever see this, please give me a sponsorship.
Great.
No, we really appreciate you as well giving us your time too, because obviously, you know, we are not the biggest band in the world, and I think any exposure for us is just, you know, a huge blessing for us, I suppose you could say. So yeah, we are very thankful for that. So thank you.
I appreciate it. Yeah, I try to get as like, I know like you guys aren't local, but I still like, you are a local scene, you know, you're in your own local scene. So there's things, you know, that you might be able to tell bands here, you know, because hopefully they'll be like, oh, this is Scotland band. Let's hear what they got going on. And like, we're not that different. You may be in like a different, you know, area, but we aren't that different. We're both human and we both have feelings, and it's great for us to like have this conversation.
Sure.
And
You know what? My thing from that is, I would say to younger bands, don't think of your local scene as your scene, and don't think of this as like a local scene. Think of the whole world as your scene. You're trying to take over the world, not just a fraction of it. And that's where networking really comes in. I do want to give a shout out to Danny Ray and his networking agency, Music Industry, spelled like TREE. That is the future of networking for bands and creatives, like straight up.
You guys should check him out. This is VOWS, guys. You want to tell everyone where to follow you?
Yeah, you can find us on Facebook under VOWS. On Instagram, VOWS UK. All of our entire album, What Makes Us Whole, is out on Spotify. Yeah, we have music videos out on YouTube. We have guitar playthroughs for the guitar players. We will have more playthroughs of other instruments and hopefully some one-shots of vocals. And keep your eyes peeled because we will have some fresh stuff coming out.
Yeah, I'm excited to hear it. This is VOWS, guys. Check them out. Follow them on everything. Spotify, on my YouTube channel with their free exposure. It was great talking to you guys. Bye.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.